Why Americans are burning out and the elites don't care if we drop dead. Hey everyone, listen up because this is something we all need to hear right now. Americans are burning out and the system is pretending like everything's just fine, but it's not fine. We're exhausted, we're stressed to the breaking point, and nobody in power seems to give a damn. We've become nothing more than walking prophets for the elite. They squeeze every last drop out of us for their gains, and if we dropped dead tomorrow, they'd just replace us without a second thought. They're exploiting us for profits, for control, for whatever else they can get, and it's time we called it out loud and clear. Let me paint the picture for you. You wake up every morning, drag yourself out of bed after maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep if you're lucky. You chug that coffee, rush through traffic or hop on that crowded train, and head to a job that pays just enough to keep the bills from piling up too high. But it's never enough, is it? The rent's skyrocketing, groceries cost an arm and a leg, and health care. Forget about it, one wrong move and you're buried in debt. And all the while, the bosses, the CEOs, the politicians up there in their ivory towers are raking in billions. They're flying private jets, buying yachts, and laughing all the way to the bank while we grind ourselves into the ground. This burnout isn't just tiredness, it's a full-on crisis. We're talking mental health breakdowns, physical exhaustion, families falling apart because parents are working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. I know you've felt it, that constant pressure, that feeling like you're running on a treadmill that's speeding up faster than you can keep pace. The system tells us to hustle harder, to be more productive, to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. But those bootstraps are worn out, frayed, and about to snap. And the elites, they couldn't care less. To them, we're disposable. We're numbers on a spreadsheet, cogs in their machine. If one of us burns out, there's always another desperate soul ready to step in. Think about it, the average American works longer hours than people in most other developed countries, with fewer vacations, weaker worker protections, and no guaranteed paid leave. We're told this is the land of opportunity, but for who? Not for the single mom juggling shifts at a warehouse, or the teacher buying supplies out of her own pocket, or the gig worker driving for ride shares until their eyes blur. No, the opportunity is for the billionaires who lobby for tax breaks while we pay through the nose. They're exploiting our labor, our time, our very lives for their endless greed, and let's be real, this isn't new. It's been building for decades. The pandemic just ripped the mask off. We were called essential workers, heroes even, but what did we get? Claps from balconies and maybe a pizza party at work. Meanwhile, companies like Amazon and Walmart saw their profits explode. Jeff Bezos got richer by the billions while his employees risked their health without hazard pay or proper protections. It's a scam, plain and simple. The system is rigged to keep us tired, distracted, and divided so we don't rise up and demand better. But here's where I get fearless with you, we don't have to take this lying down. Burnout isn't a personal failing, it's a symptom of a broken system. The elites want us to blame ourselves, to think we're not working hard enough or managing our time right. They push self-help books and productivity apps, but that's just another way to profit off our pain. No, the real problem is inequality, corporate greed, and a government that serves the rich instead of the people. We need to recognize that and fight back. Imagine if we all said enough is enough. What if we demanded fair wages, universal health care, paid family leave, and real work-life balance? What if we unionized, voted out the corrupt politicians, and held these corporations accountable? The elites tremble at that thought because they know our power when we're united. But right now, they're winning because we're too burned out to organize. They're counting on our exhaustion to keep us compliant. Let me share a story that hits close to home. I know a guy, let's call him Mike. He's in his 40s, works in tech support for a big company. He used to love his job, but now it's endless calls, impossible quotas, and managers breathing down his neck. He's gained weight, his blood pressure's through the roof, and he barely sees his kids. Last year, he had a panic attack at work, but instead of support, they told him to tough it out or find another job. Mike's story is millions of Americans' stories. We're all Mikes in some way, pushing through the pain because we have no choice, and the mental toll, it's devastating. Suicide rates are up, anxiety and depression are epidemic, and we're popping pills just to get through the day. The system pretends it's fine by throwing us crumbs a wellness seminar here, a yoga app there. But that's not fixing the root cause. The root is exploitation. The elites design it this way. They profit from our burnout because a tired workforce doesn't demand raises or better conditions. We're too busy surviving to thrive. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying give up. I'm saying get angry, get informed, and get active. Start small, talk to your coworkers about what's wrong. Support local businesses over mega corporations. Vote for candidates who actually fight for workers' rights, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Set boundaries, say no when you need to, and remember that your worth isn't tied to your productivity. But the elites aren't going to change on their own. They can care less if we drop dead. In fact, they'd probably see it as cutting costs. We've seen it in how they handle worker safety, environmental regulations, everything. Profits over people every time. It's time we flip the script. We are the ones building this country, innovating, creating. Without us, their empires crumble. So let's remind them of that. This burnout epidemic is a wake-up call. It's telling us the American dream has been hijacked, but we can reclaim it. By standing together, by refusing to be exploited, by demanding the respect and dignity we deserve. You're not alone in this fight. Millions are feeling the same way, and that's our strength. Let me dive deeper into the numbers because facts don't lie. Studies show that over 70% of Americans report feeling stressed at work, and burnout affects more than half the workforce. The World Health Organization even recognizes it as an occupational phenomenon. Yet, our leaders do nothing substantial. Instead, they cut social programs, weaken labor laws, and give tax cuts to the ultra-rich. Trickle-down economics, more like a drought for the rest of us. And it's hitting every sector. Healthcare workers are quitting in droves after being overworked during COVID. Teachers are leaving because they're underpaid and overwhelmed. Even in tech, where the pay is supposedly great, the always-on culture is destroying lives. We're connected 24/7, expected to answer emails at midnight, and it's killing our spirits. The elites exploit this digitally too. Social media algorithms keep us scrolling, addicted, so they can sell our data. Streaming services hook us with endless content to distract from real issues. It's all part of the plan, keep us burned out and numb, but I believe in us. I believe we can break free. Start by recognizing your value. You're not just a worker, you're a human being with dreams, families, passions. Demand time for those things. Push for policies like a 4-day workweek, which trials show boost productivity and happiness. Support movements like Fight for $15 or universal basic income experiments. And to the elites listening, if any of you know this, your days of unchecked exploitation are numbered. The people are waking up. We're tired of being your prophets. We're ready to build a system that works for everyone, not just the top 1%. This message is for you, the everyday American grinding it out. You're strong, you're resilient, but you deserve better. Don't let the system convince you otherwise. Stand tall, speak out, and let's change this together. Why Americans are living in constant fear and trauma, and the system lets it happen. Listen to me right now, because this hits home for millions of us. We are living in deep tension and trauma every single day. We no longer feel like hanging out with anyone. Our smiles have been erased off our faces. We cannot sleep at night, jumping awake scared, tossing and turning in the dark. And why? Because there's no real healthcare safety net. We have families to protect. What if we get ill? What if one emergency wipes us out? The fear of losing the home, of dying alone in debt, of worrying about bills piling up, about the lights getting cut off, about not having enough food on the table. We are constantly in anger, scared, with no security at all. This isn't living, this is surviving in a nightmare, and the system pretends it's normal. Let me tell you straight, this fear is killing us slowly. It's not just in our heads, it's real, and it's destroying lives. Millions of Americans lie awake at night, hearts racing, minds spinning with what-ifs. What if the next doctor's visit bankrupts us? What if we lose our job and can't pay the rent? What if the power company shuts us off in the dead of winter? This constant stress is trauma, plain and simple. It's eroding our joy, our relationships, our health. We pull away from friends because we're ashamed or too exhausted. We snap at our loved ones because the anger boils over from nowhere to go. And sleep, forget it. Insomnia is rampant because how can you rest when tomorrow could bring disaster? This isn't weakness, it's what happens when the basics health, home, food, power feel like they're hanging by a thread. We're not lazy or failing, we're being crushed by a system that puts profits over people. Healthcare costs are out of control. Even with insurance, deductibles are sky high, and one illness can lead to mountains of debt. Right now, millions carry medical debt. Some estimates say around 36% of households have it, with totals in the hundreds of billions. People skip doctor visits, delay treatments because they're terrified of the bill. And without care, small problems become big ones, feeding the cycle of fear and sickness. Then there's housing. The threat of losing your home hangs over so many heads. Rents keep climbing, wages don't keep up, and evictions are relentless in some areas. Families live paycheck to paycheck, one missed rent away from chaos. Food insecurity adds to the nightmare millions worry if they'll have enough to eat. In recent years, it's affected tens of millions, including kids who go to bed hungry. That constant gnaw of hunger or the fear of it sharpens the anxiety, makes everything feel heavier, and don't get me started on utilities. Bills are soaring, electricity prices jumping double digits in short time, leaving people choosing between heat and groceries. Overdue balances are climbing, shutoffs are happening to millions. Imagine the terror of lights going out, fridge spoiling, no heat in cold nights. It's humiliating, terrifying, and it breaks spirits. No wonder we're angry, isolated, sleepless. This trauma shows up in our bodies and minds. Mental health is in crisis, anxiety and depression through the roof, especially since the pandemic ripped away any illusions of security. Nearly 1 in 10 adults reports a full-blown mental health crisis in the past year, higher for young people, for those struggling financially. Insomnia feeds it all, that endless night worry loop. We're scared because there's no real buffer, no guarantee that hard work pays off with stability. Think about a family I heard about, parents working multiple jobs, kids sensing the stress. Mom can't sleep, jumping at every bill in the mail. Dad's angry all the time, withdrawn from friends. They avoid social stuff because money's tight, shame creeps in. What if someone gets sick? No solid insurance means debt or denial of care. Fear of eviction if hours cut. Worry about food when prices spike. Lights flickering off if payment misses. This is trauma ongoing, unrelenting. And it's worse for some. Lower-income folks, people of color, single parents, the system hits hardest there. Disparities in medical debt, housing instability, food access, it's not accident, it's built-in inequality. But here's the fearless truth. This doesn't have to be our reality. The system acts like it's inevitable, but it's choices that favor corporations over families, profits over peace of mind. We deserve universal health care that doesn't bankrupt us, affordable housing as a right, wages that cover basics, energy assistance that works. Food programs robust enough to end hunger fears. We can't keep pretending this tension is personal failure. It's collective trauma from a broken setup, but we can fight it. Start by talking, share your story, break the isolation. Demand better from leaders. Real healthcare reform, rent controls, utility protections, expanded aid. Support each other, community matters. When systems fail, you're not alone in this fear. Millions feel it too, the sleepless nights, erased smiles, constant edge, but recognizing it as power. We can push for change that brings security, lets us breathe, sleep, smile again. We deserve lives without this daily terror. Imagine waking without that knot in your stomach, hanging out with friends without shame, sleeping soundly, knowing basics are covered, families thriving, not just surviving. It's possible if we stand up, united, fearless. This trauma is real, but so is our strength. We've endured so much. Now let's demand the security we earn every day. Why Americans are freezing in the dark while the system abandons us. This is the end of security. Listen close, because this is the raw truth hitting millions of us right now in January 2026. Our hearts are racing all the time, pounding with fear that never lets up. Nobody in power is listening to us or stopping what's happening. It's like they don't care at all, like they're just waiting for us to disappear. We work hard every day, but we can no longer heat our homes properly or keep the lights on because the bills are absolutely insane. We cannot eat well anymore, we're just scraping together whatever cheap stuff we can afford, and even that's stretching us to the breaking point. This is insane. All the protections and laws that were supposed to shield us our whole lives. Suddenly they no longer exist because the people at the top no longer care. I feel this anger and fear deep in my gut, and I know you do too. We're living in a nightmare where basic survival feels like a punishment. Heating costs this winter jumped nearly 9% on average, pushing households to pay close to $1,000 just to stay warm from November through March. Electricity bills are up over 10% in many places, natural gas spiking too, while unpaid utility debts have ballooned to billions. Families are choosing between heat and food, turning down thermostats to dangerous levels or going dark to avoid shutoffs. And food? Prices are still climbing around 3%, forcing us to buy less nutritious stuff or skip meals altogether. Groceries that used to be manageable now eat half a paycheck for many working folks. This isn't bad luck, it's a system that's turned against us. Policies from the top have stripped away supports, letting corporations and utilities gouge us while cutting programs that helped with bills. Healthcare. Forget it. Millions are losing coverage or facing premiums that double overnight because subsidies vanished and restrictions kicked in. If we get sick, we're punished with debt or denied care. If we fall behind and end up homeless, cities criminalize it, making it illegal to sleep outside, sweeping camps, fining people for existing with nowhere to go. It's like they want us gone if we can't keep grinding. Think about it. We bust our backs working endless hours, but when we get old, sick, or hit hard times, there's nowhere to turn. They made sure of that: no real healthcare safety net, no affordable housing, no help with skyrocketing bills. The system acts like we're disposable. Work until you drop, and if you can't, tough luck. Homelessness is punished as a crime now more than ever, with laws banning sleeping in public even when shelters are full. Starve or get sick, you're on your own, racking up debt or worse. This feels like the Revelations unfolding, the devil revealing itself in plain sight. The system is the devil, designed to keep us in fear, working forever without security. Our hearts race at night worrying about the next bill, the next illness, losing the roof over our heads. Anger builds because no one's stopping it. They pretend everything's fine while we suffer. But here's the fearless part: we see it now. This exploitation, this abandonment, it's exposed. They're punishing poverty, criminalizing survival, letting bills crush us while protecting profits. If we end up on the streets, fined or jailed, if we starve and fall ill, buried in medical debt with no care, they want us working endlessly, and if we break, they discard us. Real stories hit hard. Families shivering in homes with heat off to save money. Parents skipping meals so kids eat. Workers one illness from ruin because coverage is gutted. Elderly choosing medicine over food. This is trauma constant, grinding fear, eroding our lives, and it's worse under current policies. Energy assistance slashed, healthcare access restricted, homelessness treated as crime. Bills insane because grid costs and demand soar unchecked, food prices up as supply chains strain. Housing. Forget owning, rents devour incomes, evictions loom, but we don't have to accept this as fate. The system is the problem, rigged against everyday people. We deserve security, affordable heat and lights, nutritious food without worry, healthcare that doesn't bankrupt, homes we can keep, dignity even in hard times. No more pretending laws protect us when they don't. No more waiting for them to care they won't. This is it, recognition that the devil is the system exploiting us. We can fight back. Speak out, demand real change, universal health care, bill caps, housing rights, end criminalizing poverty. Support each other, build community when government fails. You're not alone in this racing heart, this anger, this fear. Millions feel it. That's our power. United, we reclaim security, force a system that serves people, not profits. This abandonment is a wake-up. We've started living the end times of false security, but we rise, demand better, build real protection. We deserve lives without constant terror over basics. Hearts calm, homes warm, tables full, health secure. It's possible if we refuse to disappear quietly. Our next protest should be about the abuse they are doing against us before we die. We cannot stay quiet. They are killing us, and we must reveal their plans. Trump will be out once we elect blue, but our life is something we cannot replace. We need to start speaking up. They want us blind and entertain while they oppress harder against us. The system is the enemy. They all plan this. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes, and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, Copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.